Just another test.
Is this another? Is it just an out?
Why are you keeping
Driving while intoxicated.
Based off his observations. So basically what happens from here is we take you back to us, one more test, okay?
The breath test.
It's the breathalyzer test. We'll explain it to you when we get to the station. Don't test it. Right? Just relax.
I'm not.
This is good. I'm just going. What's this?
You're taking the bus. I didn't feel it.
The state of New Jersey does it based off our observations.
The state does it based on their observations. You just gave them everything to put in their report to say that you need a breath test. Because you're stressed out, the police are all around, they can't even do the test, but you're going to be required to take a breath test now.
My name is Lieutenant Colonel Lee Roger Wolfgram, and I am a storyteller.
Welcome to the bunker. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Colonel Channel. I'm your self-proclaimed commander, Lieutenant Colonel Lee Roger Wolfgram. I'm also a criminal defense attorney in downtown Minneapolis, and I make videos where I give you colonel advice, legal analysis, and commentary. And I'm on a crusade about these field sobriety tests that the police use when they're investigating a DWI, because inevitably people fail these. And so what do you have after you do the field sobriety test? You've got video of you failing these tests. If you refuse to do the field sobriety test in Minnesota, so you need to check with your jurisdiction, but in Minnesota, refusal to do these tests only means that then they're going to take you in and give you the breath test that they're going to give you anyway, because it's almost impossible to pass these things when the police can't even do them correctly when they're demonstrating them. And so with that said, I'm not going to take any more time. Let's jump into the video and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So again, my crusade is these tests never do you any good. If you're going to end up taking a breath test anyway, just take the breath test, and they don't have video evidence to see, look, he's impaired. That's why I asked him for a test. If you don't do these tests, they're going to say, well, you didn't take those tests, so we get to take him in and give him a breath test.
Doing, sir?
But they don't have the video.
My name's Officer Scott, Simmons Police Department. You have your license, registration, insurance?
Yeah, hang on 1 second.
Did you hear that cop?
Yeah.
He sounds impaired. His voice pattern.
So look, sir, the reason why I'm stopping is you were kind of all over the road back there. You almost ran that car off the road. I don't know if you noticed.
I have this, and I'm terribly sorry about it. I have this 97 right here, and I have an absolute terrible death wobble. I don't know if you ever heard of it before, but they anything over 50 miles per hour with this lifted suspension. It is
Pretty bad.
yeah, it's not good.
The driver doesn't sound as
Where do you come
impaired
from,
as the
Max?
cop.
I'm coming from Collingswood, and I'm heading.
I don't detect slurred speech.
My reg, my insurance.
And where were you headed to? I'm sorry.
Blanco.
Okay.
Right here down on
Where at in Collins? Where were you coming from?
Central Taco.
Central Taco. Okay. Do you have anything to drink tonight by chance?
I had a drink earlier.
Okay. How many drinks?
One.
Just one?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's the odor of alcohol. This is going to be a DWI just from the odor, because the driving conduct is one thing. He has an explanation for it.
One drink, sir.
But he doesn't sound impaired. At this point, if he refused to do any field sobriety testing at all, what they're going to do is they're going to take him to the station. They're going to read him an advisory saying, if you refuse this test, we're going to treat it like the worst possible test result. That's why they want to take him and read him the advisory.
Drink of by chance?
Okay.
Margarita. Okay.
You mind if I make a call my wife?
That's fine. Yeah, just give me a moment and.
I just want to get my
Okay.
insurance.
Yeah, you're fine. Just give me a second. Yep.
You can hear the wind, so it's a windy night.
20 years, okay. You're kind of another unit. Just find out my wife's field sobriety.
So he's already determined, you heard him, he's going to do field sobriety based on what he has. So he's got driving conduct, odor of alcohol. That's what he's got. What he's going to get is failed field sobriety tests before the breath test. That's what he's looking for, the cop.
NCIC alert.
If his speech sounded like the police officer's speech, there'd be another indicia of impairment.
NCIC alert.
I need to stand by with these
So that Challenger and the Charger just took a left turn from the left, right turn from the left lane off of 130 on the intro.
Mr. Smith.
You want to try?
Okay. Did you have anything to smoke tonight too, or just drink?
No, just drink.
All right, so look, man, because I can smell alcoholic beverage on you, I'm just going to run you through some field sobriety tests, make sure you're okay to drive.
Sure.
If you're okay with that, if you can step on out for me.
If you're okay with that. You hear that?
Just one margarita.
Yeah.
If you're okay with that. Well, what if you're not okay with that?
Just walk right back here to my patrol vehicle. So we're going to use this line here. This white line. Face me for me. All right, so just one drink tonight? Okay, you have anything wrong with your eyes, contacts, any medical issues? No? Okay.
What
So
do you-
just put your feet together, hands down by your sides for me, just like this? Perfect. Okay. So,
Feet together,
I want
hands
you
by
to
your
follow the
sides.
Tip of my pen with your eyes and your eyes only, and don't move your head, okay?
Eyes and eyes only.
Tip
Don't
of my
move your
pen,
head.
Okay? Don't move your head, okay? Just straight, follow the tip.
What they're looking for is tremors in your eye, right? Everybody has tremors at the far edge of their field of view. When you're impaired, that tremor occurs prior to 45 degrees. You can't really beat this test. You can only screw it up. You can't really beat it because this is a physiological reaction. But if you turn your head, you don't follow the instructions, those are also going to be deemed as cues of impairment. He's not holding his head. He's holding his head still. He's not moving his head. So this part of the test, he can't do anything about. It is just going to be when his eyes begin to tremor.
I'll go one more
Wind
time.
blowing, making it a little difficult.
I got you. Just bear with me. Just because you moved your head on that one, I'm going.
Because you moved your head. Cue of impairment.
Almost done. Now we're going to go vertical, okay? Stay focused.
He's not swaying. He's not using any balance. His feet are together. But he turned his head, so there's going to be a cue.
All right, so next test we're going to do is going to be the walk and turn test, okay?
Okay, I'm going to stop the video real briefly here because these instructions are the most important part of this test. Should you decide to perform this test, you need to be very, very attentive to the instructions, like where your arms are, how your foot is pointed, whether you count out loud, what you're looking at. All of these little things I'll point out here because he fails them And he fails them over these minor instructions that even the cops I see are unsteady on their feet. Even the cops make these mistakes, but they're trained to do it. And the guy makes that point.
I'm going to demonstrate and explain the start position and the test for you, all right? Start position is going to be your right foot from your left foot touching heel to toe like so. Can you get in that position for me? Okay. Now don't move until I tell you to do so, okay? You understand?
Don't move until he tells you to do so.
All right.
An instruction.
When I tell you to do so, you're going to take 9 heel to toe steps in a straight line, counting out loud like so. Are you looking? Yeah, that's what I wanted you to do, is to turn and face me and do it.
Well, you never said to turn and face him. You said put in the start
Turn and face
position.
me, yep.
Kind of
Right foot in front
confusing.
your left foot, touching heel to toe. Okay, so don't move until I tell you to do so. When I tell you to do so, you're going to take 9 heel to toe steps, counting out loud like so. 1, 2, 3.
See where his hands are by his side?
The small steps turning back around.
See that
You're going to
turn?
return 9 steps.
Small
1,
steps.
2.
In the
3.
turn, people fail
Counting
that
out
every
loud with your
time.
hands down by your sides, okay? In a straight line. All right. If you want, you can back up.
You can do this on
You can get
some flatter ground. I don't mean to be a pain in the ass, but if I'm being tested,
it's fine. I mean,
I'll do it wherever.
Do it up here and just re-angle your car.
yeah, you can do that. Or
I don't mean to be a pain in the ass.
Like, as the guy is walking, you can see it. Like, that doesn't look like he's staggering.
okay,
Those are
so
very
do you remember the instructions, or do you want me to go
normal walk.
over them again?
9 steps, count them out, turn around, come back.
turn around with a series of
So how
small
about this?
steps.
We use this white line right here. You see this straight white line?
Sure.
9 heel to toe steps, counting out loud. Return 9 steps back.
Right,
Okay.
starting out with the right foot.
Right foot in front of your left foot, touching heel to toe. Okay. You can begin the test at your whenever you wish.
See his arms?
Right.
Not by side.
Hands down by your sides.
Q.
2, 3, 4,
Arms are still being used for
5,
balance.
6, 7,
Try to keep them hands down.
8, 9,
Not, see, he just does a pivot. That's not a series of small steps. Q of impairment.
2, 3, 4,
Arms not at the side.
5,
Hmm?
6, 7, 8.
Okay. Very well.
Walk the
All right,
line
so if
good,
you want to stand right there,
but he failed.
right in front of me here, okay? The
Or
next test is
cues.
going to be the one-legged stand test, okay? Start position for that, it's your feet together, hands down by your sides, just like this, okay? All right? All right, so when I tell you to do so, you're going to pick up whichever foot you're choosing. You're going to lift it approximately 6 inches off the ground, keeping your foot parallel off the ground, okay?
Foot parallel.
Don't lift your hands above your waist, keep them down by your sides, okay? It's going to look something like this.
Can I fold?
No, hands down by your sides. It's going to look something like this. 1 1,000, 2 1,000.
He was
3
unsteady. You see
1,000,
that?
4
He's
1,000,
unsteady.
5 1,000, and so on. How my foot's parallel, 6 inches off the ground.
It's
like
not
this,
parallel
okay?
either.
All right. Sound good?
Yep.
All right. You can begin the test.
1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000,
Try to keep them hands by your side.
6 1,000, 7 1,000,
See, now he's not looking at his foot. He's looking at the cot.
9,000,
Q of impairment.
10 1,000,
Keep going.
11 1,000, 12 1,000, 13 1,000, 14 1,000.
So fatigue sets in at some point. So if you keep someone on one leg long enough, they're going to fail this test.
1,000, 18 1,000, 19 1,000, 20 1,000.
Keep going.
21,
Yeah, we're going to keep going until you fatigue.
1,000, 23 1,000, 24 1,000, 25 1,000, 26 1,000.
And because he's not looking at his foot, that's deemed a failure. Now he lost his balance. His hands are away from his body. Guess what? Time for a breath test.
All right, Mr. Smith, you want to be honest with me about how much you had to drink tonight?
Why?
Double margarita.
Double margarita? Okay.
Well, now the double
Just based off my
disclosed.
observations, okay, with your eyes are
We can
telling
put
me,
that
I'm
in the
just going to take
report.
you into custody, okay, for driving while intoxicated tonight, okay? So if you could just put your hands in small of your back for me, okay?
Just another test for safety.
Is this just an out?
Let's What's that?
Why are you taking me custody?
For driving.
Driving while intoxicated.
Based off his observations and the tests, all right? So basically what happens from here is we take you back to the station, there's one more test, okay?
The breath test.
It's the breathalyzer test. We'll explain it to you when we get to the station. Don't tense on me, all right? Just
I'm
relax.
not. I'm not.
Mr. Smith, I'm just going.
What's
this?
You're taking me into custody, and
This
I didn't feel anything.
The state of New Jersey does it based off our observations. So
The state does it based on their observations. You just gave them everything to put in their report to say that you need a breath test.
We'll explain that to you.
Because you're stressed out, the police are all around, they can't even do the test, but you're going to be required to take a breath test now.
But what observation?
So my observations on your test, from your eyes, from your walk and turn, and then from your one-legged
test.
stand test.
And listen, I am not trying to make any trouble. You're standing out here on a windy road. You're submitting me to balance tests, which I did. Did I not do well at?
I did not. You did not pass. And from my perspective, from my observation,
And that's all it takes is
Standing out here on a
observation.
windy highway, I didn't pass that test that you just gave me.
I mean, I did it with all this gear on.
And you didn't do it well,
You're a trainer.
Okay, I understand.
and you didn't do it
that.
long.
So you're going to submit me to a breathalyzer test.
Like I said,
because-
so it's everything in account. You're driving. You almost ran a car off the road. Okay, and then your tests.
Am I
Based upon
confusing
my
instructions?
observations, I have reason to believe you were intoxicated tonight. Okay. To drive.
That's why we take you back. We read this thing to you. We'll explain it to you when we get back to the station. Just because we're out here, like you said, you have your arguments. You know, that's what court's for. We're not. It's an accusation.
That's what
It doesn't
course
mean
for.
that
You're going to court.
guilty here and
But
everything.
I'm in
You get what I'm
handcuffs
saying?
because of an accusation.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So
That's
do you
how
have
the system
anything
works.
on
We
you,
don't-
Mr.
this
Smith?
is- It's not like we made this up. Like,
I'm not trying to
you know
be
what I mean?
difficult
Like,
with you,
I'm
but
not- we're just explaining it to you so you understand. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to insult you, anything like that.
I stepped out of the car
I'm just gonna
willingly, I
put
did
you.
the test willingly.
I got you. I'm just gonna put you in the
And
rear of my
now
vehicle
you're
now.
going
Okay.
to take me to the station.
Yes, to read you the advisor to tell you if you don't take that test, they're going to revoke your license and charge you with a crime as if it was the worst test result.
All right. So I'm gonna put you in the rear of the vehicle now.
Why
okay?
can I not be explaining that right now?
Because we don't have the
Reads a
portable
whole
box.
paragraph to you. He reads it to you, and you can decide what you want to do from there.
Okay. But I'd like to know what it is before I get in your vehicle.
We'll explain it to you. It's the breathalyzer. It's
We don't have that out here.
That's-
It's a box. It's a physical box.
It's not going to make any sense to you, right? Like while we read it to you right here. It's going to make sense when we're back to the station. We can explain everything.
Mr. Smith.
Why am I being arrested?
For driving while
Drive
intoxicated.
one intoxicated.
Okay, so you're accusing me of.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you want to go butt first because you're a pretty large guy there. All right. I'm ready. If you want to search for intoxicants to see,
Of course, there's a search whenever they're going to tow the vehicle, supposedly to inventory it for valuables. They never find valuables, they only find contraband.
is not.
I think they're like a lot of the
Yeah. Yeah. What's that? Yeah, I need the keys, and if you could see for any intoxicants in there, that's great. This room.
I'm guessing that's the trunk.
Yeah. I don't know what's that, but yeah, if you want to take a look for intoxicants, just bring the keys back. Yeah, that's fine. Like once you figure it out.
This one.
Oh. Thank you, sir. Let me know. All right, sir. I got your phone with you, okay? Yeah, it's going to be impounded. So, per the state of New Jersey, it's called John's Law. Okay, a drunk driver was allowed to drive his vehicle within 12 hours after he was released.
Can somebody just park my vehicle?
Yeah, can somebody just park the
Just give me a
vehicle?
moment.
But
Central
you're doing
2080.
things that you're not clearing anything at all.
Transporting one adult male in custody. Like station 200. Starting is 59120. Sir.
Without any permission.
Sir, we're allowed to look for intoxicants inside your vehicle, okay?
Well, it's an
2,
inventory
your
search is
vehicle is
what it
being
is.
towed in accordance to John's law, which is just per the state of New Jersey. Anytime you've been arrested for driving while intoxicated, your vehicle gets towed and you can come back to the station and pick it up 12 hours after. Okay? Somebody got killed 12 hours after they were released. A drunk driver was released. That's just the state of New Jersey. That's a law per the whole entire state.
Bad law.
It's not something I'm just making up here on the spot.
Penalize everybody.
Based off my observations, you did not pass. Okay. It will be indicated in my report.
Oh, sure, they
Also,
will.
it's more than just my observations of your test, your driving. Okay, it's all on my dash cam. How poor your driving was, how poor your tests were. So all that gets indicated in the report.
And he thinks he passed them. That's what I mean. These small little instructions are what causes the failure. And even the cops fail these.
I didn't get paid to do what?
DUI Act.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm doing my job. I don't know what you mean. Get paid to do what?
I'm heading in with him now, so. Alright. I'll be in a few.
So when you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail. When you're a DWI cop, everything's a DWI. That holds true. And so you're going to just a little bit of alcohol smell, any driving conduct, this will be your situation.
Yes, sir. This is Cinnaminson Township.
Section 2073. I'm clear to stop. 8 wants remain on location for the tow.
2073.
Are you going to be able to call somebody for a ride home? What's that? It's all traffic. It's nothing criminal. It's not like you're being charged with any criminal offenses. It's all motor vehicle traffic offenses in the state of New Jersey.
Well, guess what? Outside of New Jersey, they're all DWI. So if you get one in New Jersey, the next state's going to make that a crime.
You know I'm a congressional candidate in this district, right?
Ending mileage is 59122. There's a what?
100046.
There's a what?
Do your job. I don't want
He said he was a congressional candidate for Congress.
I got respect for you guys.
I understand that. I think I've been nothing but respectful with you back. You know,
I haven't done anything wrong, and you're telling me that I'm under arrest, and that you essentially put me in handcuffs
I did. I told you there was per se violations that I acted upon, and I.
Per se violation.
Yeah,
What's that?
you.
Well, there you go, because my point was really just to show you how these field sobriety tests really never work out to your advantage, because ultimately you're going to be asked to take a breath test. I would say that the advisory that you're going to get in most states is if you refuse to take that breath test, they're going to charge you with a greater crime because they're going to assume it's the worst test result possible. So when you get to the station, you get that advisory, you might as well take that test because you may be lower than the worst possible outcome. But you see how they trap you into that? Like everything's about a DWI. When these officers are out there, every little thing is going to just lead to this request for a test, and then the breath test is the one at the end. That's the only one really, and you'll have to listen to that advisory, that's the only one that really matters for you. Until the next time, this is Wolf 6 at the Wolfgram Worldwide Headquarters, out here.